welcome to NDTV Profits. A very special conversation we have with us DIPAM Secy Arunish Chawla, who is leading the government, disinvestment and asset monetization initiative. Welcome to NDTV Profits, sir, and thank you for speaking with us. I would like to begin with asking you that how's the disinvestment pipeline look like in the current financial year, and given the uncertainty and market volatility, how you are planning in terms of big IPOs in the current financial year?
I should first tell you that we manage assets, not obsessions. We have done away with fixed disinvestment targets. And that is because we have adopted a composite value creation strategy. And this strategy rests on 4 pillars. 1, good corporate performance. 2, fair dividends to minority stakeholders. 3, CapEx as per the budgetary targets. And 4, a calibrated disinvestment. The calibrated disinvestment could either be in the form of IPOs, it could be in the form of OFS, it could be in the form of qualified institutional placements, or it could be in the form of strategic sales.
Mm-hmm.
What strategy we adopt for which particular public stock depends on market conditions, our own in-house research, which we call the DIPAM model,
mm-hmm.
and of course, our requirements to place valuable public assets to share them with ordinary investors.
Mm-hmm.
It is Honorable Prime Minister's and Honorable Finance Minister's vision that we should share the value of our public enterprises and public stocks
Mm-hmm.
With the ordinary households.
Mm-hmm.
And we are implementing it in letter and spirit.
Understood, sir. And I totally understand that, you may not able to give the big IPO plans at least, but could you please share the number of, disinvestment candidates which we could see government is, going for strategic sale? At least if you could share some number.
We did an OFS right in the first week of April. And that was from our defense portfolio, the Mazagon Docks Limited. We have an aim, a target, in fact, a moral strategy to share 25%, at least 25% of every major public stock
Mm-hmm.
With the people of India.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, as you know, we also decided to list one of the biggest financial institutions in the country, which is the LIC.
Mm-hmm.
And we have already disinvested 3.5%.
Mm-hmm.
And the SEBI, the regulator, has given us time till March 27 to bring it down to 90%. As you know, it's a very large portfolio. The market cap of LIC is now almost 4 to 5 lakh crores.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how the markets evolve and depending on what the market research, the DIPAM market research throws up,
Mm-hmm.
We would be bringing up with calibrated offers for sale.
Mm-hmm.
And through you, I must tell the viewers and the market participants, those who observe and take part in the markets,
Mm-hmm.
that public stocks are not in unlimited supply. As and when conditions are right, we will bring them through OFS and other mechanisms in the market.
Mm-hmm.
And we will give good discounts so that ordinary investors can partake in them.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, the market investment is now fairly diversified. Ordinary households, ordinary investors senior citizens, and now even housewives are investing in the stock market. We are grateful for the faith they have reposed in us, and we hope to live up to their expectations.
You mentioned two important, OSS. One is the latest one, which is Mazagaon. The second one is LIC. On the LIC, I'll come a bit later. But on the Mazagaon OFS, sir, when are you planning to sell the remaining 5% stake? Is there any timeline to it?
Keep watching the market news, and keep watching the DIPAM official. There is a Twitter handle that we have, which is Secretary DIPAM. It's an official DIPAM handle. And we give all the market news, the relevant market news, and our offerings there well in time before they come on the market. So be on the lookout and don't miss the opportunity.
Of course, we track that, sir, regularly, in fact. But I wanted to understand whether the current market situation is conducive enough to come up with, more, OFS. And on the LIC point, I would like to ask that in 2022, the LIC listing happened. A lot of road shows, government has done. Do you think that this is the time to, offload some more stake in LIC?
Count on us to surprise you. Those who are in this business know there is a difference between macro and micro shocks. We manage a public stock portfolio of 40 lakh crores. That's a huge responsibility. The common mistake we make is that when the mood is down, nothing can happen. As you know, in first week April, we surprised everyone because the moods, it was Trumpian. That was the macro mood. But our own in-house research, which we now call the DIPAM model, showed us that there are certain stocks which are holding on, and they are good hedge stocks. And in general, public stocks, because they give very good dividends and they follow a sustainable capex strategy, they are very good hedge stocks for anyone's portfolio. And if you follow it's up to you. The dividend is in the hands of the investor. If you want to consume it, you consume it. If you put it in a growth portfolio, it will mitigate any macro shock in the market and will hold it up. And that is exactly what we will do. As you know, we track things very carefully. We have a very efficient, a large team of market researchers. And through them, we will be regularly coming up with OFSs of public sector stocks. They will be small in number because we are aware of the liquidity conditions in the market, what the markets can absorb. And we would always keep the interest of small investor in mind and always keep an opportunity for that.
My question remains, sir, is there any timeline for LIC? Do we see some movement this year?
No asset manager gives out timeline strategy in the market. But as I mentioned and I reiterate, we will give every announcement well in advance to the market participants through the official DIPAM handle. So please be on lookout for that.
Sure, sir. One, the public sector bank, which everybody is talking about, the IDBI bank, and the entire disinvestment has been, in works from for last 2.5 years. Now, I know that it making its progress there. I wanted to understand, is there any change of stance, given the current external headwind situation, given the situation we are in where things are not, predictable, and waiting for more announcement from the US side in terms of trade negotiation, etc. is there a wait and watch mode approach at this point of time when it comes to IDBI disinvestment?
IDBI disinvestment is on track. Government has taken a decision. It is publicly announced that we will strategically disinvest 30% of government stake and 30% of LIC stake to a strategic investor through a fair and open process. It's a complex, multi-stage, multi-layered process. We are working day and night and taking it forward. The data room has been established. The due diligence is being done. The share purchase agreement is being negotiated. And as it moves on, you will get the fair, correct news at an appropriate time. And I must emphasize that such decisions are not affected by macro shocks in the market.
Okay.
This is determined by a fairly well-calibrated, well-sequenced disinvestment strategy. And we are committed to implementing the government decision transparently and expeditiously.
But sometimes, just for understanding, macro shocks like external headwinds, the tariff uncertainty, do have an impact on the valuation.
Yes.
Are you concerned about that?
Both yes and no. You see, what happens is if you approach the markets with a trader's mindset, then you are obsessed with long and short positions. But if you believe in the markets with an investor's mindset, and you are there for the medium and long term, then you know how to ride over these shocks and ride through them. And a fair dividend strategy achieves precisely that. It is to give comfort to small investors that your returns will come no matter what the market conditions are, what the shocks are. And I would urge all fund managers, I would urge all those who have demat accounts, all those who are small investors, to always put some public stocks in your portfolio. It will help you. It will give you a consistent, sustainable, fair flow of dividend incomes. It will make you a participant in the value creation strategy of public enterprises, in their CapEx plans, which we monitor very, very carefully and rather aggressively. So, you have reposed your faith in us, and we are appreciative and careful about that.
You have been quite vocal in terms of fair dividend policy, particularly from the private corporation. You had some meeting also. Did you raise this issue with private sector? And what is the response so far? And also, do you think that they are not doing enough?
I'll clarify. This is moral suasion. We are not imposing any regulation on the private sector. When we do market research, and we did a comprehensive round of that research over the last 1 month, when, the closing of the March, and we found that we compared the public sector stocks that we manage with the Nifty 50 corporates. The public sector stocks now form 10% of the market cap in India. And as you know, the Indian stock market is now third largest in the world after US and China. And this 10% of the stock or the paid 25% of dividends on the market. Right? And when we compared it to Nifty 50, we found that in terms of dividend strategy, if you if I may use a technical term, they both first and second orders stochastically dominated the Nifty 50. And that is why we just give a fair message that we should all follow a fair dividend strategy on the market. This will make our markets a better place for the Aam Aadmi.
I'm sure, sir, with your approach and, you've been talking to private companies, I'm sure that will get reflected in the dividend as well. Moving to the MTNL issue, sir, here, the debt, which is there, a huge debt, in fact. And recently, government approved the asset monetization. But considering the big land parcel of MTNL, is it a struggle to, monetize those assets? How are you going about it?
Good question. We have set up a National Land Monetization Corporation. It has now been staffed. It has a new CEO. We recently approved a land monetization matrix, which is a strategy to move forward with monetization of these assets in an organized way so that MTNL can quickly dispose of its assets. Sometimes it may not be an outright sale. It may be another asset monetization strategy. But things are moving and you will see results during the course of the year.
Okay. You think that you will see some progress in this fiscal year itself?
Absolutely.
Sure, sir. So recently, government has invited bids on, on minority stake sale in the public sector banks. What is the status of that? Did you receive, any bids, and how are you going about it? When we could see that this is coming? Have you appointed anybody? What is the status there?
I'm happy to tell you that we received a very enthusiastic response. And the leading merchant bankers in India have applied for it. They include both Indian and multinational merchant bankers. The big names that you know of and can think of, I would not name them.
Okay.
And also the big, all prominent legal firms have applied for it. We have evaluated their submissions. We have taken their presentations. We have empaneled them. And you will see that we will move ahead in accordance with our announcement.
Out of curiosity, why the, oversight required, while selling the minority stake in the PSB? What is the trigger behind it? And if you could also mind sharing what all, what all the companies are where you're looking at, selling stakes, the minority stakes of government?
As I mentioned, it is government policy and that at least 25% of stakes of our large public enterprises should be shared with minority stakeholders.
Yes.
These are called minimum public shareholding norms. And as part of that strategy, Honorable Finance Minister reviews it very regularly. And as part of that strategy, we had given out this RFP that wherever we are above the minimum public shareholding norm, we should bring it down to the 75% level. It achieves the twin objective. On one hand, the public wealth is shared with the people of India. And on the other hand, it disciplines that particular public enterprise because it is subject to market discipline.
So in that case, I wanted to also understand about the minimum public shareholding. As you rightly mentioned, the deadline is coming. It's in August. How many CPSEs you think will meet the deadline in August, and whether is there a consideration on the extending the deadline in case if some of them are not meeting them?
Most of the PSEs have already met the 75% level. They have been brought below that. A few more, which are going to be taken up during the year, Individually, we've already extended the time required to some to next year and some to the year next, depending on how large the stake sale is being offered. And you will see that this year we will regularly offer stake sales through fair public pre-announcements, well-warned, well-announced. And this will go into the next year as well.
So the additional question for LIC particularly, the deadline is actually FY27. So because, you get 3 years after listing. So you think by the time the deadline comes, LIC would be able to, offload 10% of the stake, which is required?
I can assure you, we do our homework well. We will not sell anything in distress. We will sell these stocks in an evenly paced manner, in small installments that liquidity in the market can live with throughout this period. So, as I said again, watch out for DIPAM Official.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights and observation on all the important disinvestment candidates. Appreciate your time, sir. Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you very much.
तू ही तो है जिसकी सच्चाई वाली क्लैरिटी की वजह से मैं आज यहाँ हूँ।
गोल्ड प्लस सिल्वॉक्सी मिरर्स, ऐसी क्लैरिटी कि आपको सिर्फ सच नजर आए, चाहे कितने भी साल बीत जाएं।
Apollo Tyres, now there's a buzz of a positive corporate development related to one of the related to its European operations or European business that could come in. Now this EU operations contribute nearly 30% to the consolidated top line of the company, and there's dealers are also indicating that there could be a potential positive broking note that could come in from a foreign broking firm. In the last 1 month, if you see, the share prices of Genzol Engineering has fallen more than 58%.
Why are the rating firms calling the debt payments as default?
We have 2 credible credit rating agencies on March 4th coming and downgrading the stock to D.
Statements are consistently being proven wrong, and transactions are being taken place which are different from what they were originally pictured to be.
The company claimed it would roll out 6,400 electric vehicles. But what it has rolled out is a shocking scam. Funds meant for the project were funneled allegedly back to the promoters, the Junkie brothers. What did the money buy? Not EVs, of course, but a lavish flat in Gurgaon's luxurious DLF Carmelias.
To India specifically, I really think India has a fascinating opportunity, because in a fracturing world, everyone wants to be friends with India. We're all trying to make new friends a little bit, right? So we're all trying to think about the remapping of the global trading system.